you have ever been excluded, taken for granted, if you have ever been taken undue advantage of and treated like a doormat, if you've ever felt like you are the only one who is making a conscious effort to maintain relationships with certain people, meanwhile these same people cannot be bothered about you and the things that truly matter to you, this video is for you. Oftentimes people are quick to talk about how we need to be more kind, more loving, more thoughtful, more gentle in our relationships with other people, have more empathy and all of that. All these things are fantastic if that is who you are and if that is what you like to do. But there is a dark side to it which people usually fail to address. What about a situation where you fall into the hands of the wrong people and you are doing all these lovely things to them, but they are taking undue advantage of you, taking you for granted and serving you nothing but disrespect, especially if these are people that you have strong feelings for. When you get to that point where you are being treated like a nobody, you are being taken advantage of, you are being disrespected, it might be time for you to protect your time, your space and your energy by putting your foot down and setting certain boundaries between yourself and others. There has to be a balance between being a good person, an open person, a sociable person, an intimate person, and taking care of yourself. This is where boundaries come in. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. If this is your first time coming across this face, hello, you are welcome. My name is Joecy. Over here I share family and personal lifestyle vlogs. I share personal development tips to help you and I become better versions of ourselves, and I also do chit chat about very relatable day-to-day situations. If this sounds like something that interests you, kindly consider joining our community for more fun, wholesome and relatable content. Thank you so much as you do. Today we are going to be talking about personal boundaries. I have a couple of tips to share with you. Hopefully by the end of this video you can pick one or two to practice in your own life to help you protect your mental health, to help you protect yourself and be the happiest and the most fun version of yourself while interacting with the people that you interact with on a daily basis. Tip number one, you need to be self-aware. You need to ask yourself if your thoughts, your actions, and your emotions align with your internal standards. Ask yourself, how do situations make you feel? When anything happens between you and everyone else that you interact with on a normal day, how does that make you feel? And what decisions can you make in order to feel your best in every situation? These are just some of the questions that you need to ask yourself in order to understand yourself better as far as your interaction with other people is concerned. If you can answer those questions, then you can be able to make decisions that you are most comfortable with in every and any situation. Self-awareness is always the first step to setting healthy boundaries, and you need to be able to communicate these boundaries when a situation arises that calls for you to make them known. Anybody who respects themselves will respect you and your boundaries and standards. For those who choose not to respect them, at least they know that these are your boundaries and these are your standards, and you can feel free to walk out of the door without any guilt. If you know me, you know I talk a lot about loving regardless, being a confident and a helpful person, showing empathy and lending people your ears when you can. But in situations where you don't feel like it, you should not be feeling guilty for not being able to assist. You are not obliged to live up to anybody's expectation of you, and if they love you and respect you enough, that alone should not be the reason why they will cut you off. But if they choose to isolate you or start behaving funny towards you because you could not be that person that they wanted you to be for them at that point in time, then they can as well feel free to walk out of the door. The next point I would like to share with you is that you need to learn to say no. No is a complete sentence. You need to learn to say no and not feel the need to explain yourself. Usually when you say no and you feel the need to explain yourself why you cannot do something for somebody at a particular point in time, it is because you are probably guilty of letting them down. Ask yourself, if the tables were to turn, will this person do that thing for you that they are expecting you to do for them at this point in time? When you're dealing with people, I'm sure things might have happened in the past already that will make you understand that this person is the sort of person who can sacrifice for me. This is the kind of person who can go out of their way to do one or two things for me. If you have this kind of history with somebody and you understand that this is the kind of person who would only do something for me when it is convenient for them to do it, they will not go out of their way to do something for me. They will not sacrifice for me. If they are not extremely comfortable, they will not try to go out of their way to do anything for me. This is enough information that you need in order to make decisions in situations where these people want you to sacrifice for them. When people want you to do things for them or be there for them in certain ways, always ask yourself, if the tables were to turn, is this person going to do this kind of sacrifice for me? If you have any reservations, then you already have your answer. You do whatever you want to do for them when it is most convenient for you to do it. It is not worth moving a muscle or stretching your hand further than it is comfortable for you to stretch it for the sake of somebody who will not do the same for you. Why are you trying so hard to please someone who is only interested in what they stand to gain from you? There are certain people, I'm sure if you look back at your life and your interaction with people, you will know those kind of people who are only interested in what they stand to gain from you. The moment they realize that they are struggling, you're not driving the most fancy cars, you're struggling to make ends meet, they are not getting something from you, or there's nothing that they stand to gain from you, at that time everybody is minding their business. They will not care about you or whatever is going on in your life. They make very minimal or no effort at all to be in your life. Another way to say no is to say yes with limitations. If somebody is inviting you to a party, you don't necessarily have to say no if you actually want to hang out, but you can say yes, I'll attend the party, but I'm going to leave early, or I'll come for that girls hangout, but I'll not take shots. When you say that, at least they know what to expect. Or sometimes when people are inviting you to events or they want you to come along with them to certain activities, you can say you are unable to join them this time around, but you hope to join them next time. At least they know that it is not every time that they want you to join them to do something that you're available to do it. They know that sometimes you would come, sometimes you will not come, and that should be okay. Anybody who respects themselves and respects you should understand that you might not always be able to do things with them all the time, but the times when you are able and available and you want to do something with them, at least they should be happy to have you in their midst whenever you can. And please, if you are the one doing the inviting, if somebody accepts your invitation with reservations, please be understanding enough to respect them and their choices. The next point I would like to share with you is that you need to understand that not everybody is your friend. The fact that somebody has good vibes and good energy and you like to hang out with them every now and then does not mean that they have to know you to your house. There are different friends for different purposes. You need to be able to define your relationship with everybody and set boundaries accordingly. Know that these are my hangout buddies. Set boundaries. Know that this is my close friend who knows me to my house. Still set boundaries. Know that this is my relative. Still set boundaries. Know that this is my mom. Set boundaries. No matter what kind of relationship you have with anybody, even with your spouse, there needs to be boundaries. And whenever any situation comes up that needs you to make your boundaries clear, always make sure that you make your boundaries clear. As long as you want to continue having these people in your life, you need to make sure that they understand your standards and your boundaries, so that situations will not keep repeating itself. Hanging out buddies are not necessarily the same people that you cry with and spend your vulnerable days with. Know this and know peace. Next point, stop making yourself available for some people all the time. I cannot overemphasize this. Do not let anybody become too familiar with you. Do not let anybody see you finish. Like my Nigerian connect would say, never ever make the mistake of thinking that going out of your way for a user will make them like you or even respect you. They already like who they like and they respect who they respect. Even if these people that they like and respect so much are doing the barest minimum for them, they will only want to deal with you as long as they can use you. I have seen this. And you would realize that when you start setting boundaries with these type of people, they will start throwing talk like, oh, you have changed, blah, blah, blah. Because they like the attention that you give them. Meanwhile, they really don't care about you. The minute they realize that you have changed, you no longer call them as often as you used to call them. You no longer opt to do one or two things for them. You no longer put in a lot of effort to be in their lives. They'll start throwing talk like, oh, you have changed, blah, blah, blah. You need to make up your mind to be okay with all that manipulative talk that will start coming when you stop giving undeserving people your time. You need to try as much as possible to avoid or limit contact with anybody that triggers negative emotions in you. If you don't like the way these people's actions or inactions make you feel, this is reason enough for you to want to avoid or limit contact with them. If these are people who have no problem ignoring your phone calls, if these are people that your presence is equal to your absence in their lives, whether you are there or you are not there, it doesn't mean anything to them. If you realize that you don't matter to these people, why do you try to be in their lives? Try to limit contact with them for the sake of your mental health, to protect your heart from continuous hurt, right? You need to make that decision because they don't really care about you. No matter how much you try, it is not going to make them like you. No matter how much effort you put to try to keep them in your life, they are still not going to like you, and it is not going to make them start giving you the kind of energy that you are giving them. They already like who they like. They respect who they respect. They want who they want in their lives, and that person is just not you. I'm sorry I'm bringing you guys this kind of tough love, but I need to say these things because most of the times the true definition of the relationship you have with somebody is not about how you feel for them. How you feel for them is very valid, but how do they make you feel? If you continuously show them how much you love them, how much you care about them, how much you are willing to go out of your way for them, but they don't make any effort when it comes to you and the things that truly matter to you, why exactly do you want to continue doing these things for these people, knowing very well that when they don't reciprocate the energy, it hurts your heart? You need to guard your heart. Setting personal boundaries is you trying to protect your heart from further hurt from the same people that you care about. It doesn't mean that you don't care about them anymore. It just means that you are trying to manage the way you deal with them in order for you not to continuously be hurt. And that is very, very healthy for you. It is what you need in order to be happy. It is what you need in order to sleep well at night. It is what you need in order to function well on a daily basis and be the best version of yourself. Because sometimes we give people so much space in our head. They are living rent-free in our head. Meanwhile, they're not even thinking about you as much as you even think about them. They are busy with their lives, busy doing things with the people that they want to do things with. Meanwhile, you are here thinking about them that much, and even when you even try to reach out, tell me how somebody will care about you. You call them, they ignore your call, and they can't even be bothered to return that call. When people have shown you that, that is enough reason for you to set boundaries between you and them and know that as long as this person does not hold the key to my life, I don't need to be trying to keep in touch with them unless there is something very important that I need to communicate with them. Make a conscious effort to have less contact with such people for your mental health, for your mood, and for your comfort. All those small chit chats or checking up on you every now and then, it doesn't really matter because they don't value it. They value it from the people that they care about. They don't value it from you. Know that and know peace. Save it for the people who care about you. Save it for the people who are excited to hear from you. Save it for the people who, when they see a phone call from you, they're happy to answer it. Save it for the people who are excited whenever you are in their midst. You need to learn how to be okay with inconveniencing people. And trust me, most of the times you're not even inconveniencing them. You are inconveniencing yourself because you're the one who puts yourself in that situation to be feeling like, oh, it's been so long I've not checked on this person. It's been so long I've not checked on that person. How about that person checking on you? Communication is a two-way thing. You need to understand that not everybody is going to like you at the end of the day. So there's absolutely no reason for you to try to do anything just to be liked by someone. In fact, if everybody likes you in this life, then you have a problem because different people have different things that they are looking for in different people. You cannot be that thing that everybody is looking for. The people who like the kind of person that you are, they are going to like you. Do not try to be that thing that everybody is looking for so that everybody can like you. Do your best in every situation and make sure that you are at peace with everybody. Believe it or not, people respect you more when you have boundaries, when you have standards, when you stand for something, when you have morals and values. Trust me, somebody who walks their way into your life will behave proper and better than someone who you just let to come into your life without them making any effort to be in it. Okay, let's take for example the way people dress up and carry themselves to a party that says strictly on invitation, and you need to inform them if you're bringing a +1. Is totally different from the way people behave when they are going to a party that is open to any Tom, Dick and Harry. Even nightclubs that prohibit flip-flops, shorts, baseball hats and all of that. You will find that people carry themselves with a certain level of comportment when they go to such clubs, as opposed to nightclubs that every and anything is allowed. My lips are getting a bit dry. I've been talking too much. Yeah. Right, the next point I would like to share with you is that be scarce. Don't be a regular face at every party or every gathering. You don't have to participate in every social activity in town, especially if you are not part of the organizing committee. Why are you that person that when everybody is going to a party, they already have it in mind that they're going to see this face there, and you never disappoint. When people want to ask that who was at that party, your name always comes up. Any event going on, any party going on, you're always there doing the most. I feel like people tend to lose a certain level of respect for you. I might be wrong, oh, it is just my opinion. If you have a different opinion on this, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section. I believe in having a certain level of mystery to your life. It is not every time that you need to show up and show out. And also try as much as possible not to talk too much when you are in a gathering. Try to practice to listen a little more than you speak. Sometimes the loudest in the room is not always the smartest. You might be the loudest, speaking a little more than everyone else, thinking that you're making a lot of sense. Meanwhile, everybody else who is listening to you knows that you are not making any sense, but they're just being polite and they don't want to tell you to shut up and sit down. They just let you make a fool of yourself and your entire family and your entire generation. Not everybody needs to understand your entire personality. In my opinion, when you speak less and listen more, it does not create any room for over familiarity. And this does not mean that you are not confident or you are being timid. Sometimes it is wise to actually listen more, especially when you are in the midst of people that you don't always meet on a daily basis. It does not even matter if these are the faces that you see on a regular basis. Still try to limit the way you talk when you are in a gathering. Leave a little bit of mystery to you. Let people wonder who you really are, but make sure that you speak when it is necessary. You are there, you're listening, and you chip in your contribution. Be that kind of person that when you open your mouth to say 1 or 2 words, it sinks in people's heads. It makes people reflect, not just somebody who is just loud and talking a lot of nonsense. Now, bear in mind that when you start pulling away, people will start talking about how you've changed, how you don't care about them anymore. But you need to remind yourself how their actions or their inactions used to make you feel. That alone should be your motivation to make the necessary changes and set the necessary boundaries that you need in order to guard your heart. Do not forget that when certain people say they care about you, they only care about what they stand to benefit from you, or what they stand to lose if you decide to deny them access to you, or if you start to give them less of your time. Let me remind you that boundaries can make you lonely, especially if you're the type of person who likes to be around people. Boundaries may limit your options, but trust me, without them, you'll be letting a lot of crappy people into your life, and you can easily become an emotional dumping ground for everyone's problems. You have to protect yourself and guard your heart from hurts. You have to be able to choose standards over relationships. I cannot tell you what your standards should be, but you know what keeps you safe, and you know what keeps your mind and your heart at peace. If you're somebody who does not have any boundaries or standards, try to practice saying no every now and then. I totally understand that the first few times might be a bit uncomfortable, but think about who it is that you are saying no to. Will this person inconvenience themselves for your sake? If the answer is no, that right there should be your motivation. Not everyone is going to be happy with you and your boundaries, and that is absolutely fine. I hope that you are able to pick just at least one tip to put into practice as far as your relationship with other people is concerned, in order to protect your mental health and guard your heart from hurt. Let me know what personal boundaries you already have in place. Thank you all so much for watching. If you totally enjoyed watching this video, please give us a thumbs up, and if you've not yet subscribed to this channel, kindly consider subscribing for more fun, relatable and wholesome content. And please, you can go ahead and share the video with someone, and please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really does help with the algorithm. Until I come your way next time, stay blessed, stay safe, continue to drink a lot of water, and mind the business that pays you. I will see you in my next video, guys. Bye.